What's up, YouTube? This is Griever here, and okay, this is actually kind of like going to be a real video because I'm going to show you how to do something, which actually I misplaced. Excuse me one moment. I'm back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, very briefly, I had a small kind of quick write-up on Nerf Revolution about my original little mini Steffins, which I have now evolved into Streamline versions, or mini versions of my super simple custom Streamlines, which I got off of Nerf Haven. Pretty much, this is the average Streamline. Totally bone stock, little rubber tip, no problem. What I do is I take 3.5 millimeter BBs. These are copper just because the copper have the easier weight, and this just happens to be what my local sporting goods store had. What we do is, now on every Streamline, you will notice right there, there's usually a little hole, very, very tiny, like maybe a little, about the size of a ballpoint pen's tip, in all the Streamlines. Well, what you do is, no glue, no cutting, take the BB, and you pretty much start it off by the hole and just kind of force it in. Do that again. And now you have a weighted Streamline. The tip still has a little bit of give on it, so it's not like a total solid tip, but it still does have the rubber, so it is a little bit blunted, but not by much. Like, it's not a felt tip or anything like that. I am working on doing a version where I either put the BBs in the back here and cover it in hot glue to see how well those work, to put the weight in the back so the tip is still all soft, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet. And pretty much to get it like this, which is what I am going to be using right now in my Big Bad Bow, which I have figured out part of the screw up, so I will be showing you that next, and probably going into my quad shot, because the only foam backer rod I have is the cheap stuff from Home Depot, and that stuff really, I don't know how well that's going to actually translate into dart making, so I'll have to try that later. But pretty much what you do is you just take the dart, a knife or scissors or anything like that. I'm actually using my my razor blade that I have in my little toolkit. About midway through, you just slice, and bam, mini Streamline, weighted. So there you have that. And yeah, I mean, these things are about the size of Steffins, maybe a little bigger. In my bow, I was hitting maybe about 80 feet with it or so. Depending on what I use. If I use just the direct CPVC barrel, it's hitting probably over 100, but I'm actually going back to the Breech temporarily until I can figure out what's going on with that RCB clip, which I did build, and it actually came out pretty good. It all came together very nicely. I even had like different pieces of I even had a different size PVC to either go, if I wanted to, well, here's my bow. I had the CPVC where it either lays the barreling across here, or I had a long enough piece, just by happen of luck, that actually went up and I could go through here, but I'd have to cut off this part and this part, because I don't want to cut off the whole thing, because I like the bow arms, because that's part of the appeal for me on the Big Bad Bow, but yeah. But now, the issue I was having with my Breech, which actually also translated into my my RCB clip, was the darts were not loading into the CPVC properly. Even on the RCB clip, I reamed this out to give the darts enough like leeway in. They went in maybe about that far, figuring, okay, that would be enough. Yeah, no, that didn't work out. So, scrap that idea. So I went back to the Breech idea, and I'm like, okay, what was I screwing up? Lo and behold, I rewatched Hero's video, and I realized he had a stub of CPVC at the bottom of his, and I was just like, oh shit, I didn't do that, and bam, that was the issue really. I didn't want to redo the breech because my dad actually did this one for me because I only have a 5/8 spade, where my dad actually had a full size bit where he could do it. Unfortunately, I didn't have a drill that could fit it, so my dad reamed this out for me pretty good. And well, it's not the cleanest cut, but there's like the top of the breech, and I already had this fully from tip to end going through for the CPVC. So pretty much what I did was I'm redoing the slide barrel. So I cut off an inch of the CPVC off of this and just coated it in electrical tape and hammered the crap of it into the breech here, which I still have about, with this included, I have maybe about a 10-inch barrel, or about the barrel that I had that on there. But the good thing is now, slide the breech open. Don't want to lose those BBs. Put the dart in and close up. And I now have the issue of where it was getting screwed up, because I could load a dart into the CPVC fine and it hits phenomenal. But the problem was, though, unless it had a full fit, it was not leaving the barrel in one shot. This is now fixed because this is now partially nestled into the CPVC tip here. Close the breech. It's now completely encased in CPVC, and it's leaving the barrel. I did about 4 test shots in the garage. Every single one went off fine. But I also had the problem of, last time I did that with the breech testing in my backyard, it only went about 40 to 60 feet. If you read my little rant and help on the RCB, for help with an RCB clip on Nerf Revolution, that was only hitting about 40, 60 feet. I had no idea what the hell was going on. But this was, I did about 2 test shots outside. It's very windy, it's cold, and it's also dark right now, but I tested about the best of where I could from remembering my distances when I did my night finder tests, and this thing hit about somewhere between 80 and 100 feet. So, I mean, I finally fixed the problem. So, but yeah, pretty much that's it. This is a CPVC PVC barrel. A little bit no O-ring, pretty much just the way Hero builds it. I haven't added the tip here. I don't know if I'm going to or not, to make it just all look like one piece, because truthfully, this is totally fine with me. I'm going to sand off that to make it a little smoother, because it is a really, really tight fit. But yeah, it's pretty much half-inch PVC that was reamed out with a 5/8 drill bit to allow the CPVC to fit. Half-inch CPVC, both are Schedule 40. They just slide in together with a half-inch CPVC stub hammered into the back of this. If anything, I would probably advise, if you redo this breech, one, follow Hero's video, because it's very informative. But if you're going to, and you go all the way through, maybe about 1 or 2 reps of electrical tape on your CPVC and a little bit of hammering will get it in nice and nestled. I know this is sticking out a little bit, but it's not bothering me too much, because it's still, it's not going to be like screwing with the air seal, because I have enough give in my breech, in my coupler, and it's not allowing the air to go through it, because if it's not going in, then the air seal is fine. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the dart lesson. If you want to use them, cool. Like I said, I'm going to try and do either an update or version 3 of these to see how well they'll do with the BBs in the back. Since I know some wars I had mentioned don't use double BB tips. Hero was kind enough last time I went to NJN02 to allow me to use them, because one, they were my only, they were in full streamlines. They weren't these little mini darts, but he was kind enough because they were really my only darts that I had. And plus they didn't have the hot glue, so hopefully, if I can get away with these, I'll just keep it these because I have about like 120 of those that I can just cut down, and I'm pretty good on darts. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's my video. Cool. Later.